Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are doing my top movies of May 2022. Yes, it is crazy to think we are in the 5th month of the year, and I watched a total of 7 new movies that came out in May. There's been, I think how many? 2 streaming movies and the rest were in the cinema, so 5 in the cinema. So let's get into it. So starting off at number 7, we have Firestarter. I gave this a 1.5 out of 10. This is the remake of the 1984 movie based on a book by Stephen King. And in a nutshell, it's basically this guy's daughter who starts fires and she can't control it. I rated this 1.5 out of 10. I think it's the lowest rated movie that I've rated this year. So it's probably it is one of the worst movies of the year for me. It was very boring, very slow, 90 minutes long, so at the same time very fast, so you didn't get that time to have the character development that maybe some bits needed. A lot of the special effects were I just thought it was like media study student quality and not like a film. Zac Efron was okay in the movie, and the score I thought was okay. But the movie just didn't take me anywhere. It was so boring, and it was one of those films that I couldn't wait for it to kind of be over before it even really began. I could tell from the off this wasn't going to be a good movie, and it didn't hold up, so yeah. Next we have in 6th place, Father Stu. I gave this a 5.5 out of 10. A little bit above average, a little bit better than the last one. This stars Mark Wahlberg, and he is basically playing a guy called Stu, and he, in a nutshell, wants to become a priest. That's the main thing. It's based on a true story. Again, this film was okay in some parts, but then I thought it was a bit misrepresented. I thought like it was trying to be a comedy, and you had some Mark Wahlberg like funny comedic lines in there and stuff, but then it was trying to be serious, and it was dealing with really serious topics in my opinion, and it just didn't. It's trying to do 2 different things. It was trying to be a serious film, but then trying to be a comedy, and they didn't marry up for me. It took me out of the movie. I also thought the movie was quite long. I think it was 2 hours and 30 minutes, something like that, or 2:25, 2:20, around there. It felt like it was a bit too long, and it had me just checking my watch every now and again in the cinema. So yeah, it took me out of the film really altogether, and wasn't fantastic. So yeah, 5.5 out of 10 for Father Stu. So now into the top 5 of the month, and next is a Netflix movie. This stars Rebel Wilson, and this is called Senior Year. Now I gave this a 7 out of 10, and I think this is going to be one of my favourite Netflix movies of the year. I think I rated it higher than other Netflix films I've watched. Really enjoyed it. I haven't heard good things about it online, but for me, I gave it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was really good, really fun. I think Rebel Wilson played a fantastic character. It was just a good fun. I think it just gave me a bit of escapism. I definitely had a bad week at work that week, and that night was just a really fun, just watching American comedy type of thing. So had real fun with it. I really liked that they kept Rebel Wilson's character to have like an Australian accent, so we got to see Rebel Wilson feel like she was more Rebel Wilson than like Americanized, I guess. So it was really good in that sense. It was a proper Netflix film. It felt like a Netflix film, but at the same time it could have been in theatres in my opinion. I gave it a 7 out of 10 because I thought it was really, really good. Things I didn't quite like about it was quite predictable. You did know where it was going to go, and it's kind of already been done before with 13 going on 30 in a similar way. So yeah, but yeah, for me, 7 out of 10 I think is a fair score, and yeah, I would highly recommend people do check it out. If you want some escapism, if you want something to make you laugh, then Senior Year on Netflix is for you. Next then, in number 4 and number 3, we have the exact same scores of 7.5 out of 10, but the worst of the two I'm going to give to Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. I loved this film. 7.5 out of 10 I rated this in my review. I have watched this movie actually twice now. I watched it yesterday at the time of filming this with my nephew, which was super fun to see his reaction and experience it with him. My first time, obviously, I was watching on my own, but I really enjoyed the film. I really love the 2D animation, the 3D animation, the callbacks to some of the classic Disney characters that I grew up on all the Disney classic movies. And yeah, the story was really fun. It was a family film. I said in my review it felt a bit like Christmassy, like you'd sit down with your family at Christmas time and watch a movie. It felt like that. Could it have been streaming? It definitely could have been in cinemas, in my opinion, but I think the Chip and Dale brand is not as like big as, say, Mickey and Minnie Mouse. If it was Mickey and Minnie Mouse, maybe we'd be talking about a cinema release. But it's rightly so that it was on Disney Plus rather than in cinemas, but I think it still would have done quite well. And it would have been nice to see on the big screen. It looked fantastic in Dolby Vision and sounded great in Dolby Atmos, albeit it wasn't really a Dolby Atmos demo-worthy movie, but, you know, it was nice to have. So yeah, I gave that a 7.5 out of 10, and I simply cannot wait to watch that again. Really enjoyed it. It's probably my most surprising movie of the year so far. Next, in number 4, and slightly edging it, same score of 7.5 out of 10, and that is the latest movie that I watched at the end of the month, Top Gun Maverick. This is the second movie after the 1980s movie from Tom Cruise, Top Gun, basically. And yeah, it's a sequel. It honours the first one. I wasn't really a fan of the first one, I said in my review, and I've done a review of the first one as well. It wasn't really my favourite film. And yeah, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I don't get the hype. I don't get the 97% Rotten Tomatoes and people thinking it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing that Tom Cruise is flying these jets and being filmed inside the jet, but take a step back from all of that. It's not, for me, a good story, and the plot and Jennifer Connelly's role I thought was a bit boring and just unnecessary. There's no substance to the film is what I'm saying. There's no substance, and it's one of those doesn't need to happen, didn't need to be made. It's a great experience in the cinema, but for me, I feel like the Top Gun movies are really one-time watches. Now, there's a lot of people that love them, and I appreciate that, but for me, they're good, but they're not rewatchable and amazing. You don't just watch them all the time. So, yeah, my 4th favourite movie of the month, though, and I gave it 7.5 out of 10, but I think it's just a little bit better than Chip and Dale, in my opinion. So then, now we're into second place, and I gave this an 8.5 out of 10. We had 2 fantastic movies this month, I want to say that. They're 2 of my favourite films of the year, hands down, so far. But in second place, I gave an 8.5 out of 10 to Everything Everywhere All at Once. Mad to think that I watched this like way back when, at the beginning of the month now, because, you know, this month's just gone, well, it's just flown by. But yeah, this was a fantastic film. Really enjoyed this. It was full of fun, felt a bit scary movie-ish. Didn't really feel mainstream, felt like a bit, not bootleggy, I don't want to say bootleggy, but just didn't feel Hollywoody, I guess. It didn't feel that. And that did it wonders. It was a movie that was just fun, real escapism, and, you know, big surprise at the end as well, in my opinion. Performances from Jamie Lee Curtis as well. We did get some really great performances as well from other actors and stuff in there. It was really fun, and if you are into your action, comedy, thriller, all that type of stuff, you will really like Everything Everywhere All at Once, and it's something you should experience. Everybody should watch this film and just experience it, in my opinion. So next then, in number 1, the best movie of the month, I gave 9 out of 10. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, for me, was my favourite movie of the month. I saw it 3 times in the space of 5 days, 6 days, and I cannot wait to get this 4K Blu-ray in. For me, it's my favourite Marvel film for a while. I've always felt like Marvel so far, Phase 4 has really been on decline. With No Way Home, it did step it up a little bit, but again, similar to Top Gun, everyone thinks it's amazing. No Way Home, I really thought was a bit like, let's just take a step back and look at like the first bit of the film. It wasn't as great as people make out it to be, but Doctor Strange for me just takes it up again. It's a fantastic film that Marvel, got to give them props for letting Sam Raimi just go away with it and just do what he wants to do. It felt like a director's film rather than like, you know, we are controlling the director and telling you what to do. He could do what he wanted to do, but tell the story and get to the end goal, which I think he did perfectly. This movie also does give us Wanda, you know, and Elizabeth Olsen's performance was brilliant. Her best performance as Wanda, in my opinion. And of course, Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, I thought was amazing. And America Chavez. People don't talk about her enough, in my opinion. I want some sort of series for America Chavez where she's traveling the multiverses looking for her parents. That would be amazing. Like, I thought her character was great, really forward thinking in terms of, like, you know, the LGBTQ plus involvement, etc. And I think that is perfect for me. A female lead like that, I think she did a fantastic job, and she seems like a great actress as well. Following her Instagram and all that, and she seems really like a nice person as well. So Really, really good film. Everything was great about that. Opening night was amazing in the cinema as well. We had a fantastic time in Super Screen. I saw it twice in Super Screen, one standard. Super Screen was amazing. But for me, it was great. Really loved Doctor Strange 2. If you love Marvel, you will love Doctor Strange 2. It's definitely more of a horror-y type of thing, and we've always wanted that. This would have been perfect coming out at Halloween time, in my opinion. But we got it when we did, and I cannot wait, as I say, to watch this year, test it out on all my speakers and all that, and give it another watch, because for me, really enjoyed it. Top tier. Loved it. 9 out of 10. So there it is, guys. There is my top 7 movies of May 2022. Let me know your thoughts about my ranking down below. Did my scores agree with yours? A lot of people are saying Top Gun probably is going to be top because people are loving it. But for me, this is what I watched this month. And also let me know, did I miss anything? I watched 7 films that came out this month, but did I miss a film that... I nearly missed Chip and Dale, to be honest with you. But let me know. Did I miss one? Let me know down below, and I will maybe do that next month. But yeah, there it is. There's my top movies of the month. Thanks for watching today's video, guys. Stay tuned for more coming soon. And of course, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.